This is Intersection. I'm Matthew Petty.
I can't complain, I can't be proud. I make no excuses for living out loud.
Well, Holy Human are from Daytona Beach. They are Matt Wall on vocals and guitar, Matthew Orbiton, keys and synth, Woody Moore on drums, Mark Murray, guitar and vocals, and Anthony Santisi, bass. Holy Human, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
They describe themselves as a rock and roll band with a taste for a touch of strange psychedelic punk with bluesy stomp, holy harmonies, and an attitude. And they were one of the NPR Tiny Disc Contest local favourites, as voted by you, with a track called Ballad of the Swamp King. So, Matt, let me start with you. What was the experience of recording a video for a Tiny Disc like for you guys?
That was really cool. Actually, Matthew Orbiton over here, he suggested that we do it at our school. We're both teachers at New Smyrna Beach High School. Mm-hmm. So he pushed and pushed for us to do it. And I was a little hesitant about it because we've been so busy lately, but I'm glad he pushed us because we went and on a Sunday we got special permission and we went to the classroom, hauled all our gear, and it was a lot of fun.
Do you both teach music, or is music a hobby for you?
It's more of a hobby for both of us. We're both English teachers, actually.
Okay.
I teach some music too, but both
He
English.
does guitar and chorus class, and I do all English. So he does mostly English and some music.
So who writes the lyrics for your songs?
That's mainly me. But actually, this song was written by our drummer.
Who we should note is not here for the interview. How did your band come together then?
Well, I had this project going for a long time as a solo project, but I always envisioned having friends with me to do it eventually. And so it's been around for 7 years, but 2.5 years ago I finally got the people to coalesce, and now we're a band.
Well, Anthony Santisi on bass, when did you join the band?
I think it was about 2 years ago, and it's funny, I joined the band. We were on the same bill at a local show. They didn't have a bass player at the time.
Right.
So after the show, I approached them. I've known Matt for a number of years, and I said, looks like you guys need a bass player. I was kind of involved in a lot of projects at the time, so adding Holy Human to the mix seemed a little outrageous, but it was worth it.
What about you, Mark? Did you know the band before you joined?
I did, in fact, several years ago, perhaps I'd say around 10. Matt Wall had a music collective where we all just came and had a distinctively Dionysian time. It was really wonderful, and he was in another band at the time, and we would all descend upon this one house in Daytona, and whatever their medium of art happened to be, people reading poetry or whatever, and Matt would every once in a while display one of his songs for us to hear. And he was in, like I said, another project at the time, but I very much believed in this project. When I would hear their songs, I would push for them.
I feel like the group that we had back then and this group now, it's really important, like the collective and the vibe, the overall vibe of the people that we have in this group. It's like, it's not so much about talent as it is the personalities create this overall group, which I feel like is kind of similar to bands like the Grateful Dead or the Beatles or Pink Floyd, bands that we like that are psychedelic bands. It's all about each member too, making this overall group spirit that contributes to the music. That's why Ballad of the Swamp King is particularly interesting, because I'm the main lyricist, but I let Woody write those lyrics. So this band is what it is because of its members, which in a sense I feel has a psychedelic aspect to it.
Matthew, how do keyboards and synths fit in there? Because you got two guitars, there's sort of a wall of sound aspect going on here. How do you make sure that your instrument is heard as well?
I feel like I'm kind of a jack of all trades, sort of, because there are times where I have to be more rhythmic, other times more atmospheric, and then other times melodic. And there are even some songs where I'm the main vocalist, or like just doing more vocals than anything else, or just bring out the tambourine sometimes, just kind of filling out the whole sound, and then other times kind of being more front and center. Mm-hmm. But in terms of psychedelic music, a lot of times people say that we sound a lot like The Doors. I know I get a lot of influence from MGMT. I'm a big fan of them. So 60s meets music of today, and I like Keys music, yeah. And Diva. Never forget Diva.
Do you, Anthony, have to keep this band in line as the bass player? Because it seems like things could spiral out of control.
How much time do we have to explain that?
Personality-wise?
No, yeah, you know, a bass player's job in a band is sort of the cornerstone. You're kind of bridging the rhythm section with the guitars and the vocals. But to be honest, these guys kind of let me do my own thing. Like Matt was saying, the collective creativity of everything is what kind of makes our songs what they are. So, yeah, I'm keeping things in line and keeping it on the beat. I'm locked in with Woody on the drums, but I'm also getting to go and have my fun in the music too. So, but I keep them in line off stage too. You know, somebody's got to organize these guys, make sure we're here on time, make sure we're there on time. Yeah, I'm the band social worker.
That's true.
Keep everybody in line. No, it's a group effort, honestly. And in the music, it's a group effort as well. I think we're all important.
What's the music scene like in Daytona Beach, Mark?
Oh, that's interesting. So, unless you're doing an independent thing like we are, it tends to be kind of cover bands and just kind of, I don't know, maybe like surface level kind of like, something that the rock stations would play ad nauseum. So unless you're doing something that's foraying into a truly like independent sphere, you're kind of limited to that other stuff. But I mean, if you're, as far as it goes into the independent stuff, it's just a really, really colorful melange, just something that'd be very difficult to explain, I'd say. As much as anything interesting happens in a place where there's independent music, that has its little corner too.
It's a strong scene.
Yeah, it feels like it's growing too, to be honest.
So there are good places to play?
Yes, there are. Mm-hmm. Yes, there are. We are actually going to be playing at one of them very soon for our album release party. It's called the Bank and Blues Club. It's on Main Street in Daytona. It's probably the premier venue there.
Right.
That's going to be on the 6th of July.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say, that's not necessarily the hole-in-the-wall spot. We have plenty of those. This is a little more upper echelon, but there's plenty of places in town for bands to play. The original music scene is definitely growing there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of influence from Orlando, Jacksonville, St. Augustine. It's all starting to blend together.
She terrifies me. She terrifies.
Does it feel like what you're doing is a little bit of a throwback to an earlier era?
Oh, for sure. I've always felt sort of out of time, just personally, and I like my music to feel like that too. But of course, I love new music too. So I listen to new music and old music, but I try to make my music sound like it could be from any time.
Mm-hmm. And it sounds like there's an audience too. You're playing to listeners who want to hear this.
Yeah, I believe so. And those people specifically, we would like to thank for helping us get on this radio show and for helping us place first in the Central Florida contest. They really came through for us, and it was really nice. Big shout out to them.
780 plus people, friends, family, and otherwise.
Yeah, we were super humbled and surprised by that.
It's a testament to how strong the Daytona area music scene truly is, and it's growing.
Well, tell me about the album, Matt. This is coming out in July.
In July 6th, right? Do I have the date right?
That's right.
Yeah, we're pushing it. It's coming out. It's called Epiphany. And it's a collection of 12 songs that are pretty much full band songs, which I'm really excited about because I had 2 previous albums that was just me doing all the instrumentation. So this was the goal all along, so it's finally the fruition of a long dream. It'll be on Spotify, it'll be on Bandcamp. We'll probably put it on iTunes, and all the other ones, probably CD Baby as well. Those seem to be the big ones. The best way to follow us is on Facebook, though. That's our main platform to like us on Facebook.
Is there going to be a physical album? Like
oh, absolutely.
Putting out an LP or something?
We're gonna do a CD at first. There'll be a CD release.
We've considered vinyl.
Yeah, and that's probably going to happen.
What about cassettes?
Yeah, we have that too. My first CD was released on a cassette label called Tapes from the Gates that was out of Jacksonville. That's no longer with us, unfortunately.
Oh, really?
They had some great artists. So yeah, and I'll probably do that again. I have a collection of songs that I'll probably release on cassette, like only to cassette, which I like that whole thing. I got my own cassette collection going now.
And do you play in Orlando as well?
Oh, for sure. We're going to play Orlando June 2nd at Uncle Lou's. Do I have that right?
That's right.
Yeah, there's like a big punk indie show going on, so we're on that bill. So yeah.
Well, Holy Human, Matt Wall, Matthew Orbiton, Mark Murray, and Anthony Santisi, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Holy Human was the top local favourite in NPR's Tiny Desk contest as voted by you. You can check out videos of all the entries at our website wmfe.org/tinydesk. Support for Intersection comes from Florida Hospital and from our listeners. Intersection's producer is Brendan Byrne. The executive producer is Catherine Welch. Production assistance for our show today from Emily Lang. Our intern is Brenda Argueta. We're into the final week of our spring silent drive. Help us reach our goal and support local programs like Intersection, Spotlight and the Space Podcast, Are We There Yet? Call 1-800-785-2020 or click wmfe.org/support. Follow me on Twitter at Matthew_Petty, and thanks for listening.